Differences between True GMT and Color GMT. Hello everyone, this is Ahmed Dawn. Today in this video I'm going to demonstrate a simple way the differences between True GMT, which I have it right here, and Color GMT, which I have it right here. So I have had a hard time differentiating these two, and everything got clear or I understood everything properly once I have these two and tried each of them practically. So the thing is, there are two types of GMT watches you can purchase, which is one is called a Traveler's GMT or True GMT, which I have it right here, and the other type is called Color GMT or Office GMT, which I have it right here. This one is also goes by Flyer GMT because the pilots or anyone who's traveling, this is more suitable for those. However, this one can be used as a for travel too, and I'm going to explain you why. So this type of GMT, Traveler's GMT or True GMT or Flyers GMT, has a mechanism which is more complicated than the Color GMT, and as a result this is a lot more expensive than the Color GMT. So for example, this is Certina GMT, which is about $1,500 to $2,000 Canadian, and this is a GMT, Color GMT watch, which is a not so common brand called Ratio, and I bought this only for $200. But you can grab a very nice Seiko Color GMT or Office GMT from $500 to $700. Now the main difference is when you're traveling with a Traveler's GMT or True GMT, your GMT hand, which is a 24-hour hand right here, it can stay fixed to your home base, and you can change the local time, which are these hands minute and hour hands, independently. So basically it allows you to independent adjustment of the local hour hand without affecting the GMT hand. Now this is not the case for a Color GMT. When you're traveling with this type of GMT watch, anytime you are changing your local time or hour hand and minute hand, which are hour hand and minute hand, then is going to affect your GMT hand as well. So you have to just keep adjusting your GMT. Due to the fact it's a headache to travel with this type of GMT, because you have to always whenever you're switching or shifting time zone, you have to always change or adjust the GMT hand or the 24-hour hand, which is the red one. Now it's kind of hidden right here, that one right there, the red hand. But with this, you don't need to touch the red hand unless you want to. So let's say I'm in Toronto and I'm going to, let's say, Malaysia. So once I go to Malaysia, I'm just going to change or adjust the hour hand and the local time, and this is going to stay put here. It's not going to move. But for this, let's say I'm in Malaysia and I change to local Malaysian time, switching the local hand, hour hand, and the minute hand, that's going to shift my GMT hand as well, and I have to just adjust my GMT again, and I have to keep doing it whenever I'm traveling. Every time I'm switching the time zone, I have to keep switching the GMT hand as well. This doesn't actually bother me a lot, but for some it might, you might get bothered a lot. For example, if you're a pilot and you're just shifting time zone and adjusting your clock, that's going to be a really headache, because you're going to keep doing it every day. That's why this type of GMT is more suitable for travel and or people who are flying. And now let me show you the demonstration. So let's start with the Color GMT or Office GMT. So here in this watch, you can switch the GMT hand independent of the local hour hand. So for example, I already unscrewed the crown. If I pull it one bar, and actually wait, I pulled it too much. Okay, so I pulled it one time, and you can see that okay, just 1 second. Okay, here. So you can see that I'm able to change the GMT hand, keeping the local time fixed. And also you can see that I can even change the date. If I just rotate it counterclockwise, you can see that it's shifting the date. But for this one, you cannot do that. Okay, so now that's one thing. Now, if I want to change the time, for example, let's say local time, I'm going to pull it another bar or another step. Now I'm changing the local time, and you can see that it's changing the GMT hand as well, which I do not want. But for this watch, you don't have that option. It's going to do that every time you're changing local time. That's why this is more suitable for when you're staying in your home, or let's say in your office, and you're just keep track of someone else, with this GMT hand or 24-hour hand. Then you can just switch your GMT hand whenever you need to track different person or different one sitting in your office, or sitting in your when you need to make call to see what their time is. That's why this is more suitable for office work or when you're staying within the same time zone. But this is perfectly fine to travel. You have to just keep changing your GMT hand every time you're shifting your local hand. So basically that's what it is with this caller GMT or traveler GMT. Now for this GMT, I cannot change the date independently. In order to change the date, I have to change the local time, and I can go back and forth with the date. So for example, let me just give you a quick demonstration. So you can see that this is I want to change the local time. Okay, so you can see that this is changing the local time. Okay, and it's going to change the date if I pass the 12 hour at night, and I can go back and forth, and it's going to change the date back and forth because you're shifting your time zone. So I'm just going to put it back here. Now if I just pull up one bar, let's say just one bar. Okay, let me see. No, okay, it didn't work. Okay, now see, I pulled just one time. Now I'm changing my local time. However, my GMT hand is fixed, which is this red here, 24-hour. So I'm changing my local time, but keeping my GMT hand fixed. That one is not possible here. So that's the difference. I'm going to just put it back here. And so in summary, True GMT or Traveler's GMT allows you independent adjustment of the local hour hand, keeping the GMT fixed. And the Collar GMT or Office GMT, you can adjust the GMT hand independent of the local hand. And however, whenever you're changing the local hand, it's going to keep changing your GMT as well, and you have to change it every time you're changing your local time. So basically that's the difference. And also what I noticed that I can change the date here without circling the whole hour hand and the minute hand, but here I don't have that option. I can only change the date when I go through the rotation of the full day on the hour hand and the minute hand. And this is a lot more expensive. This is a lot cheaper, but in my opinion, it's perfectly fine. You can travel with this. You don't have to actually buy an expensive True or Traveler GMT. Office GMT is just fine. It's just takes a little bit more effort every time you're shifting your time zone. You have to just keep adjusting the GMT hand, but which is fine with me. So basically that's what are the differences between Traveler's GMT and Collar's GMT. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.